Hey guys and welcome back to another What If here. Today we're doing part 2 to What If Naruto was turned into a kitsune. And yes, for those who are new to my channel and are wondering and checked out my community tab and was like, well, what do you like, what are you going on, what you obviously doing, or how are you uploading, or not uploading, when will I be uploading videos. So obviously today, Monday 31st. Then November the 2nd, which is Wednesday, and then Friday the 4th of November will be part 3 and 4. So Wednesday part 3, Friday part 4. Then the second best of the poll that was on my community tab, on the second best on that, on the poll will be Monday the 7th. Then the third best will be Wednesday the 9th, and the fourth best, because there's 5 there, so the fourth best will be the 11th of November, which is Friday. So yes, that's when those wives will be uploaded for yous who are new or yous who are wanting to know when those will be up. So yes. Anyway, also guys, if you don't know what happened in the last part, there'll be a link in the description down below that will take you to a playlist which will have part 1 and this part and any other future part that I may add to the series if you guys want this series to continue past part 2. Anyway, so with that out of the way, let's get into this. 5 days, precisely 5 days would go by from when Naruto had awoken and from her somewhat 1 week long nap after the Sasuke retrieval mission went south, and at that time he was stabbed through the heart, vaporizing his heart, and being turned into and being saved and turned into a somewhat kitsune, a half human, half fox, though in this case it's half human, half tailed beast. So yeah, and yes, of course her hair color and hair and somewhat fur or tail color is white. Her eyes are a somewhat kind of brighter blue that you can see currently. And yeah, and the stairs whispers about obviously demon and that they should kill her hack. They'd tried to raid a house a couple of times, her apartment, and yeah, it was like being back for her, being thrown back, also being turned from male to female as well. Forgot to say that. Anyway, yeah, it was like for her being thrown straight back into her past, where or back then he was obviously hated, beaten up, and even brought to death's door a couple of times. And yeah, and they tried doing it now though with her, of course, with her shinobi training, and that it never really worked. It didn't work out. Plus, due to that fact, Tsunade, the current Hokage and 5th Hokage, had from her personal Ambu guard, she'd asked them all how they obviously viewed the now new current Naruto, and all of them were like impassive. They neither liked her or hated her, which was good for her because it meant they could build a bond, a relationship with her, with this new Naruto. And of course, out of all of them, her entire guard, one was female, that being Kat, aka, or codename Kat, aka Yugal, or Yuzuki Yugal. I think I said her last name right. Anyway, Tsunade had chosen her to be Naruto's Anbu guard, and said that if they tried breaking into her apartment, arrest them or even kill them. Which she nodded, and it asked if say, would there be obviously would there be anyone else looking after, or would it be just her? And she said just you, though I would mainly worry about the night time. So in the morning you can somewhat be obviously in the morning you can obviously go to sleep, though once you get up you can either watch over her, or if she's at an apartment, then yes, watch over her. Otherwise, if she's possibly here with me or that, then obviously here, watch, do what you kind of do, though your main focus is her. Cat had just nodded, and yeah, of course, though, Tsunade had also told Naruto that she had an Anbu guard that would protect her during the night time, so that she told obviously her that of course in the morning if she was somewhat at home and civilians who were broke in or that, then kill them. They're breaking and entering. Sure, they could get arrested, but they're obviously trying to kill you, so kill them. I do not care, she'd said, because she knew they hated them, and it was about time the reason why obviously they beat her up in her trials was because what Hiruzen had told him, which was to not fight back. Not doing that made the villagers beat Naruto more, bring Naruto to an inch of his life, and as such they continued to do it because they weren't really being told off. Maybe they would be slapped on the wrist from Hiruzen, but that was it. There was no real punishment really. And yeah, so they continued, though once Naruto was entered into the even once Naruto was entered into the academy, up until he was once he was say 3 years into the academy or that, they stopped. But yeah, before that they continued to beat him up, and because Hiruzen told him not to, and yeah, anyway. So Tsunade, and luckily for Tsunade, Naruto very much, once she got up and she changed into a somewhat just basic, just somewhat skirt and top. She then head towards the tower and generally be with Tsunade for the entire day, and even somewhat help her out doing the paperwork, though Tsunade could see Naruto was somewhat getting more and more, wasn't as happy as she used to be, or he used to be, and was getting more and more angry, and that was obvious from her somewhat tails. I think I gave her 2 though, going to say she generally somewhat, well, only has one out. But yeah. Yeah, and Tsunade could very much see by the way her talent is somewhat through day to day that she's been getting more and more angry and frustrated with the village. And whilst initially Naruto was happy that she wouldn't be banished, now she's somewhat regretting and was somewhat almost wanting to have been banished to get out of Konoha. And yeah, so Tsunade would finally somewhat decide. She'd been thinking over somewhat throughout just the day alone, possible outcomes if Naruto were to either just go nuking in, which should almost undoubtedly possibly send Armbu out, or even follow after her and just go, screw this. You know, I've lost it. Pretty much everything now. Of course, she still had Shizune, but Shizune was more of her, obviously, apprentice. Nothing really much more there besides an apprentice. And yeah, she'd spent a lot of time with her, but it wasn't like, yeah, it was, she always saw Shizune as her apprentice and nothing more. And well, anyway, so those really the only person holding her in Konoha was Naruto, and if Naruto were to leave, she would follow after her, not caring about her job. And so somewhat Siren would go Anbu leave as they would, for Anbu would drop, those three would leave. The one that didn't leave was Kat or Yugao, as she would still somewhat being on one knee in front of the Hokage, ask, do you wish for me to stay behind, Hokage-sama? Tsunade thought for a couple of seconds before going, hi, stay, Naruto, come over and sit, and Yugao sit as well, which, Kat was somewhat obviously surprised to be called that, but it meant, obviously, whatever Tsunade was going to say was a personal thing and not Anbu, so she wouldn't exactly take off a mask just yet. Though Tsunade would then run through a couple of hand signs before putting her hand on the wall, which then a spiral would appear, and then lines from there, almost in a spiral somewhat like pattern, or the line soon out would curve around. Anyway, though once they'd all meet at the other end, they'd flash a crimson red before somewhat disappearing, which meant that the barrier was up, and Tsunade would then look to Naruto and go, is there anyone else in here? Her ears would somewhat, Naruto would then somewhat close her eyes and would then say, after a 5-10 seconds, would say, no, Barchan. Tsunade would nod and would go, well, okay then. Naruto, tell me honestly, and I mean honestly, do you wish to leave the village? And when I mean leave, I mean you just say not like you're no longer a say member of the village. You're say in a way say banished, and you can say go to, I don't know, say Sooner, Iowa, possibly not Iowa, I can't remember its name now. Land of Lightning, or even Snow Country, or the Land Spring, whatever they go by. And Naruto would say, well, as Naruto would cut off, I mean, Naruto, I'm being 100% honest. I'm 100% honest right now. And I want you to be 100% honest. Do you want to leave? Yes or no? Naruto would sigh before looking directly into Tsunade's eyes and going, and breathe out a slight sigh, a sigh, and would go, hi, I do. Tsunade would go, well, okay then, and would then look at Kato and go, what about you, Yugao? And she'd go, what do you mean, Hokage-sama? I'm loyal to the Hokage. No, you're not. You're loyal to the village, not the Hokage. So I would ask you, so if you was, then I'd be leaving with Naruto, as they'd both go, wait, I'll be meaning later on, I'll tell you in a couple of minutes or so. So just somewhat nod and go, and I do mean I would go middle finger to the leaf and leave. Yeah, screw the leaf and leave with Naruto. Which would surprise, and of course, and by what you mean, and if you're loyal to me, then that would mean you'd come along, which would ruin your entire career here. So it's up to you. I know your lover died here, so it's up to you. Do you wish to stay here and be in Anbu here, or do you wish to follow me and Naruto to where we go, if we go to a different village, hidden village, wherever? And you don't have to worry about repercussions from mine or Naruto's actions. You'll be separate. You're very much nothing bad will happen if you wish to stay behind. Yuga would somewhat think and would go, well, I used to think they were somewhat friends, but now they're more like just comrades, just two people that I may hang out occasionally. So, hi, Hokage-sama, I've got Nomdi holding me back, and the only person I've really gotten to know is Naruto here. Tsunade would just nod and go, well, okay then, that's okay. Now then, now this is my plan, and this is going to possibly screw the leaf possibly slightly economically wise. As they would look at, what do you mean? Well, what I plan to do is tell the Fire Daimyo and actually get Kakashi instated, as he's the next really best person to be Hokage, and we'll get him to, tell the Fire Daimyo that I'm going to be retiring and leaving, I don't exactly say feel comfortable in Konoha, and I'll probably just say travel the world. Though, and obviously Kakashi would then be the next Hokage, the sixth. I wouldn't tell the council yet, and I wouldn't tell the council, as I will then say somewhat banish you. Well, say you and, well, you two, and then that very, then say, wait, say, well, good, like somewhat say, well, yeah, get a somewhat decent, though that would be a shadow clone, as I mean, do you like would have, you can make shadow clones, as you'd go, no, Hokage-sama, I don't have enough. I have got enough to make one, but I don't really have, it won't really last that long. So I go, that's fine. Though, it just mean that we can somewhat say leave tomorrow, and though, like say, leave actually tonight, and then tomorrow they would find out that, say, obviously that my shadow clone is, say, banished, say banished use, and then my clone would obviously, after that, would then say dispel. I'd tell obviously that, I want to be alone, then I'll say shatter, say, the glass in the window, and then dispel. And my clone will dispel, and would obviously be far away from there. Sure, I would have the missing in status on my head, but I could care less, or at least I would try and do that. But obviously, if I died, you would say I'd retired, and that Kakashi was the next Hokage, and that if they can't agree to that, then he'd probably end up being in control and would take full authority over Konoha, cancelling out the council, which they would just nod at, as they would, and Tsunade go, well, meet me at the, then I'd go, so what about Shizune, Bachan, and and Tucci and Aime. Well, Tucci and Aime, I'll tell them our plan, and that to head towards where we'll be going, and where will we be going? Well, as you currently are, you've got snow white hair, and your fur is obviously the same colour, snow white, though I don't know if you've realised, but it's somewhat thicker, which means you're a snow kitsune, or a winter fox, which means that the only place I could actually see you really being in the, you being best, the best climate for you would be snow country, the land of snow, or the land of spring, whatever they go by. Though if they do get that generator thing properly working, then maybe say 6 months of the year it's summer, or spring, summer, and then the other 6 months is winter, or that. I don't know, after all, you're the friend of the daimyo, aren't you? It's not, I would just nod. And, well, yeah, and so what about, wouldn't they send people after us to try and capture us, or something else like that? no. It's somewhat interesting though. It seems like they've chosen Kara as their next Kage. They have so he's not Kage yet, though. I think they plan on putting him in office in the next year or so, once his training's complete. And well, yeah, your friend and all of Suna knows what you did for Gara to bring him to open his eyes to the real world and what he has done, and that he does have precious people there for him, and that you are his friend. As such, they would almost immediately they would probably cancel anything with Konoha. They would stop their trade and that for. So how quite simple. I will banish you for the simple reason of failing to bring back Sasuke. It was an impossible mission in the first place, I knew, but yeah, saying that's the reason why will almost undoubtedly get them to so kind of lose trade with those two, maybe Taki as well, and whatever partners kind of have is, I can't remember them all, which they would somewhat nod. And yeah, of course, fast forward a couple of hours and they would do that. Naruto would make a Sharingan, it would obviously stay in its apartment, in the apartment. Yuga would, Yuga would also make a clone, though it would only last, it would be almost running out of chakra by the time they are hopefully out of Konoha, banished. So yes. Anyway, yeah, they would already leave and head towards Tsunade had sent out she'd sent out she'd sent out a messenger towards Suna to obviously state that she'd banished for this reason, though she'd of course underlined the true reason somewhat, obviously why, and it was up to them if they wanted to cancel trade, and that they were heading towards the land of snow for obviously specific reason why, for obviously Naruto's sake, will be more comfortable in a environment that her kitsune side was made for, evolved for. So yeah. And anyway, she'd obviously send a personal say bird or pigeon, whatever, towards the land, towards the land of snow, currently named land of snow. So that I can't remember her name, but the Naruto's friend would know, who's the daimyo, would know that Naruto is coming. Well, Naruto, her some armed guard, or who used to be her armed guard, and Tsunade herself is going to then that obviously they had no allegiance towards Konoha, and that they would obviously, once they're there, and maybe obviously next day, so once they've settled down, a day or two, once they've settled down, so the next day they would then talk about the main reasons why. And yeah, Naruto would, of course, she'd bit her hand and they'd run through the hand signs a couple of times already, but she couldn't summon the toads. And both Tsunade, who had summoned Katsuya, had stated that it's probably because due to the fact she is now half kitsune or half-tailed beast, that her somewhat blood and that has changed, and it's changed enough that it can't either get a lock on you or that it's just changed enough that, or the seal had registered you as dead and as such has blocked you from summoning them, though, which had caused Tsunade somewhat curse, because because she was somewhat hoping to possibly have either maybe one of the either bigger toads, even Gamabunta himself, help them towards the land of snow, because obviously it would take them a good while, and whilst obviously the fox had told Naruto that she does have a fox form, though Naruto doesn't know how to shift into it, and they're far enough away that summoning Gamabunta they wouldn't see, but are though they're close enough for them to see a 20 or 30 foot tall ghostly kitsune appear, or tailed fox, while two-tailed fox to appear. Of course, they don't know if she'll be that actual size, but yeah, it's a chance they're not gonna take, and neither is the fox. The fox has stated that, told that it'd be better to get further out of the way before trying to shapeshift into her fox form. And yeah, though there would be then there'd be there'd be two puffs of smoke in front of her, which they both, Tsunade and all of them would somewhat curse slightly, thinking Anbu or someone else, though to their surprise it would be it'd be Gamabunta, and it'd be Gamabunta. No, there'd be just one giant puff of smoke. So no, that's not that. Ignore that. What I said. Yeah, it'd just be one giant puff of smoke, and Gamabunta would be there. They'd think delayed summoning, maybe. So possibly, though very unlikely. Gamabunta would look at her and would go, "So it is true that you are alive, yeah? Yeah. Well, yeah. You are. Yeah. Well, they would talk. I'm not gonna try and figure out what they would speak about, but they would talk for a bit. Though Gamabunta would end up going back for a couple of seconds, then reappearing, using a very shaky link to appear, and another toad to somewhat appear as well as the fox, not the fox. Gamabunta would say that this is the key to the seal, and would obviously tell Nat what she'd have to do after she'd done that. Her 5 fingers would light up and would with chakra, and would then mark it. Once it did, the toad would then tell her to move her hand into the center to the massive load of writing thing. I can't remember. I know what it looks like, I just can't describe it properly. But she'd put it there where there's a somewhat spiral looking image, and that it may be a bit painful, and it was, as the key itself had moved on to her. And once, because that had all happened, the thing was the toad that had the key, while the ink that was on the toad was now gone and onto her arm. Though the seals would glow blue from it for a minute or so before fading, and Binta would then would then say though, and obviously due to the fact though the contract would obviously somewhat be cancelled now, that should no longer be able to summon toads. Naruto had just somewhat nodded, of course sad, but had nodded, and that they would somewhat leave, but they would leave in 2 puffs of smoke, and Fox would then say to Naruto, I'm just saying, but I'm only half of my true self. And Naruto would let out another sigh as Naruto would quirk an eyebrow, as Naruto would go, I've only got half the fox sealed inside me, and Naruto would just sigh and would go, so that's why you have a hard time controlling the fox's chakra, which made perfect sense, having half of the damn fox sealed inside of her. And now, while the fox would ask to switch with her so that it could explain, obviously, to the others, the other two, how to get its other half back, roughly. Naruto would nod to switch, which would end up with her baby blue slitted eyes going crimson red, which Naruto would somewhat stayed calm, though she was ready to pummel, pretty much. And the fox would tell them that obviously they would have to resurrect, bring back Minato, and pretty much tell Minato, convince him to give Naruto his now daughter my other half. Doing that will give her a somewhat better ability to control my chakra. Well, a much better. Well, the more tails, so from the 4th tail onwards, it would be a lot easier to control, to manage my chakra. It'd be, So they nodded, and Tsunade had then remembered about the shrine, and that it was the only way to bring back someone who had used the Reaper Death Seal. So that's where they somewhat headed. And well, an hour later, and a bandit camp destroyed. Because they needed a living sacrifice, and Tsunade didn't care about bandits. Hey, they were evil, they should die. They raped girls, women, sold them, so she didn't exactly care about killing them, and anyway, once they would get to the temple, she would tell Naruto and Yugao to stay outside until she said come in. They'd nod, and Tsunade would drag the unconscious bandit in. After getting to where the masks was, would slide one on and would go through some hand signs which would summon the Reaper. As it would then look down at her as she'd go, I wish to bring forth the fourth Hokage, Minato Namikaze, and the body in front of me is your sacrifice. Is the sacrifice. The Reaper would just nod behind her before slicing its stomach open to let a single spirit leave. The spirit then hit the body, and the body would then somewhat glow, and then it would then take the form of Minato. Minato would then somewhat, now suddenly being out from the Shinigami stomach, would and back into the living world for however long, would taking a deep breath, and eyes would snap open and would look around and go, where am I? And seeing that it was in a shrine place, would be confused, and then would immediately remember this place and why he somewhat chose to seal half the fox inside of him, and would slightly calm down. And seeing, though, when Tsunade took the mask off and put it back on the hook, well, yeah, for right now, Minato was surprised. He didn't think Tsunade would ever come back to the village. Of course, that's what he thought. Anyway, Tsunade would then explain what, somewhat happened and what is going on. And, well, safe to say, Minato had pretty much went from being, oh good, like the village store somewhat alive and that, to I should have just damned let the fox wipe the village out that night, pretty much. Yeah, that was his fault. Though, and she'd obviously explain what Naruto is now, and would show him a picture of Naruto on what she now looks like. So, like, when he does see her, she doesn't freak out, pass out, or yeah. Minato would, should show him obviously two. One which was what she used to look like, and one what she looks like now. Minato would just nod down and would ask if she's here, which she would then yell out, Naruto, Yugao, you can come in now, which they would, and after 30 or so seconds, Minato would then see his daughter, kitsune daughter, standing in front, and he would immediately just somewhat just cuddle. And well, yeah, and a bit of time later, and Minato had somewhat agreed to sew his half of the fox inside of her, and it was a week or so after he'd sealed the fox inside of his son did he realize that he somewhat cursed himself, sealing the yin and yang separate was a bad move, because Naruto it'd be impossible to learn more than the fourth tail of chakra unless Naruto were to somehow either become very good friends with the fox or or beat the fox at a chakra fight and sell its chakra somewhere else, which was unlikely to ever happen. So, whoops, he didn't think about that. Yeah. And anyway, though, yeah. So you then seal the other half of the nine-tailed fox inside of his daughter, and after a bit more talking, he then nodded at Tsunade, who then ran through the hand signs to release the jutsu. Landed on the last one. She'd said release, and the body would crumble to dust as Minato would then float upwards, and he would look somewhat down at Naruto and say, "No matter where you go, Naruto, my baby girl, no matter wherever you go, I'm always proud of you. No matter the path you choose, just know this: I and possibly even your mum are proud of you." And Naruto would thank him and would tell him that she would make him proud and would make her name feared, and so feared that she would have the same run on sight like he had during the Third Great Shinobi War, which he just somewhat smiled at as he laughed. And of course, after that, her ears went flat and her tail went down. She was sad, obviously, and that she wanted to have more time with her dad. But yeah, Tsunade though would just somewhat stroke the top of her hair and would say, "Don't worry, Naruto, remember you've got us." She'd somewhat just slightly nod as tears would come out of her eyes, as she would then cuddle into Tsunade as she would cry. And yeah, another hour or so, 10 or so minutes would go by as Naruto would finally stop crying and they would head out. Fox now being out of commission, and for who knows how long, Tsunade not exactly, Sword Cat Studio was a slug, though they was on the somewhat slower end of the spectrum of speed. So yeah, and they were somewhat doubtful Naruto could figure out a lot of things, but they didn't think she could figure out how to shapeshift into a fox form. And I saw she could use the transformation to transform into a somewhat, maybe say 5 foot tall, 5 foot tall animal, or horse for that matter. Those somewhat almost, slightly 0 point, because they would still shorten the time by maybe half the time, but yeah, the obviously bigger animals would have gotten that a lot faster. And yeah, so anyway, they would go off. They'd go off, though Tsunade would obviously know this was a somewhat definitely a 2-day or so trip. Anyway, though, they'd head out, and yeah, a day later, though, they'd of course eventually stop and set up a camp. And well, yeah, Tsunade would cast a Genjutsu. Well, Tsunade would make a shadow clone, and the shadow clone of her would cast a Genjutsu over the place to to hide them whilst the real Tsunade obviously, besides getting some food and that, would go to sleep. And yeah, the next day, and surprisingly, the fox only needed a day to reform. Naruto and even Tsunade and Yuga thought, well, Tsunade thought probably a month, Yuga thought similarly, Naruto thought maybe 2 weeks, a week, 2 weeks. Though it seemed like they were both wrong, all three of them were, or at least seemed to be wrong, though the fox had told them, once Naruto told him that she couldn't use his chakra for a good 2 or 3 months, as it was somewhat chaotic. It was still balancing itself back out, so never mind. Though it told at feeling that they were possibly far enough away, I then told her how to shift into her kitsune, her fox form. And yeah, there'd be a puff of smoke, and there would be a somewhat small 2-tailed Snow White third foxes with baby blue slitted eyes. Naruto, looking at herself, would somewhat sighed at being small, though the fox had told her how to obviously make her size grow, so she should immediately grow size up to around say 6-7 foot tall, before laying down on the ground, which Tsunade and Yuga had took as get on. Naruto didn't really want to try speaking, just in case it would do damage. After all, she had almost zero idea what any really control, besides from learning from the fox how to grow taller and smaller, and how to shift in and out of fox form. Besides from that, speaking could go from being very quiet to blowing trees for miles and miles away from her. So yeah, she'd keep quiet for now when she was in her fox form until she got better control over it. Anyway, those would then get up, and Tsunade would then point towards the land of snow, which Naruto would just nod. Naruto would just nod ahead, and they should somewhat start running. Though also, as she'd run, she'd somewhat increase her size as well. So by the time they would hit the ocean that separated the land of snow from the elemental nations, she was a good 10-15 foot tall. And yeah, and both obviously Tsunade and I keep forgetting the name on Yuga were somewhat just enjoying the ride. Sure, they were sending chocolate obviously into their legs and feet to hold on, to stay on, but besides from that, they were somewhat actually enjoying the ride and what it felt like travelling. Yeah, on a giant, at a decently fast rate at 15 feet on a 15-foot, of course, tall two-tailed fox. Yeah. And I was actually going to go in more detail though. No, not more detail. I was going to make this somewhat longer though, because I'm ending it here. So I did plan on making this somewhat longer. So sorry guys, though don't really have to wait long, like a week or 2 or 3 or 4. You really don't have to wait 2 days? A day? Yeah, I guess, I don't know, however many days you'd like to say until Wednesday the 2nd. So anyway guys, if you have enjoyed this, tell me. If you I'm gonna change Naruto's name, which I'll tell you guys in the next part what it is. So anyway guys, if you have enjoyed this part, I've just said that. Anyway, I'm going to say it a third time. So if you have enjoyed it, tell me in the comments down below. And yes, of course, part 3 and 4 are going to be coming out, though. I guess if you really want them, tell me, and nothing really would happen. I'm still going to do them. So yeah, though it'll tell me you guys are enjoying it in a way and really want it. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say besides stay safe, have a good day or night, depending on whenever you are and whenever you're watching this, and yeah, good. Bye!